welcome to Homebrew Wild and Cheap. So it is Sunday today, and I've got that Sunday feeling. I made some stew using the red wine from the wine kit. It's very tasty stuff, very nice stew. So I've got an open bottle, and yeah, I'm going to sample some of the wine. Because, yeah, it's just an excuse to have a drink. It's Sunday. So, as you know, I'm not a great wine kit fan. I think you can get better results by doing it yourself. It's a good learning process. But when it comes to beer kits, I think they are pretty damn good. Mainly because you don't have to malt the grains, you don't have to do the sparging, you don't need a lot of equipment to do it. All you need is to buy said can. Now this can is in hot water, just because this isn't a very detailed and in-depth video. I mean, it's pretty simple. This is the Mexican Refreshing Cerveza from Wilkinson's. It's 4%, which is fine. It makes about 40 pints, and yeah, it says it's ready in 21 days. Obviously, a little bit longer gets you a better beer. So, that's what I'm going to do, just to prove that I don't hate all kits. I like some kits. And plus, I want some beer, and there is no way in hell I'm going to be malting grains and mashing and doing all that stuff. The guys that do it, hats off to you, but it's just not my thing. I prefer the little kit things. Well worth 11 quid, and it's going to save me days and hours of messing about with temperatures and thermometers. So, as you saw, I sterilised my worktop, I sterilised my demijohn, which in this case is one of these 23 litres, which can go up to 25, fermenting bin. Doesn't need an airlock, it's fairly straightforward. That has been sterilised and cleaned. The inside is immaculate. Courtesy of my shower. Fantastic. So I've got myself a hydrometer, which I've sterilised and I've put in water just to make sure the bleach is off. I have myself a stirring implement, which again I have bleached and rinsed and boiled and then put in here. The more hygienic you are, the less likely you are to get an infection in your alcohol. It's just, it gives the yeast a fighting chance. So about these kits. So this one cost £11. Fantastic. It came with the yeast that you add in. It came with instructions. Fairly self-explanatory. My only one gripe I have with these kits, which they really should change, is if on the side here it has the instructions of what you're supposed to do. Now it doesn't tell you how much sugar you need, or spray malt extract, if you want to give it more body and depth, but this is just a Mexican beer, light, easy drinking, so I'm just going to use sugar. So I know from previous experience it just takes a kilo of sugar. You can add a bit more if you want to boost it up, because it's 4%. But again, it's going to be a nice, easy drinking beer. Fantastic. Again, you can either put it in a barrel if you want to buy a barrel, or you can bottle it. I'm going to barrel it, which I'm going to do in part 2, mainly because there's a lot of bottles, in a lot of 500ml bottles in 23 litres, so I'm quite lazy. So, with that being said, this just needs to heat through. Whoop. He says, nearly, see the can stuff comes off. So the reason why we heat this is because, like with honey, it's very, very thick with all that malty extract of goodness. So we heat it up so it comes out the can easier, which is pretty cool. And we've got the kilo of sugar, got everything. So I'm going to sit and drink some wine and leave this for a couple more minutes. So it has been around 10 minutes in total this has been in. I switched it over halfway round. So you got lovely packaging on the outside. It's just something to slip on. You should really take it off before, put that in the bin. So now we've got our lovely malt, all nice and warm, hopefully. Now I'm just going to open it up. It's fairly simple. This is one of the easier brews. Oh, that smells good. Smells a lot like malt extract. Almost as if it was made of malt extract. Yep, I'd say that's runny. Love this stuff. Gonna try a little bit. That is good. So, put you there for a minute. That's very tasty. There you go. Look at that. So, I don't need the can opener anymore. So we've got our lovely sterilized fermenter. It smells very clean. Find somewhere that is nice and clean. Just put it there. Scrubbed the floor earlier. So, it's a very simple case. All we've got to do is dump this can in here. Look at all that lovely malt. Looking good. Now you're not going to get all of it out, so you're going to take some hot water, which I'm going to grab in a second, and pour it in the can. Now, because I don't like to see waste, and since I'm adding in hot water to start off with and then topping it up with cold, I'm just going to dump in my kilo of sugar, like so. Put that over there. Now I've heated up some water, and I'll fill the can with it, pretty much to the top, and the rest I will pour in here. And this is just going to aid, funny enough, dissolving the sugar. We may have to do this more than once. Take my lovely clean sterilized spoon and stir it around. And this is just there. That wine's quite good. This is just to get all of the malt extract, or as much as possible, out of the can. It's a fairly straightforward process. Oh, the mouses are alive. They smell the malt extract. I wonder. Let's do something random. Mousy, what do you think of this? Put a little bit there. And I scrubbed the cage earlier as well. They've had a full workout. So we'll see if they go into that. Either way, they're out and about. So, there we go. That's all lovely and mixed. And that's about as much malt as we're going to get out of there. Take the can from the top. Check that. Lovely and clean. We got the lid. Scrape a little bit off. That's a bit for me to lick. It's just not an episode unless I've done that. Now we just stir it with the spoon, and that dissolves the sugar and liquefies the malt. So now, this is all pretty much looking good. Now we're just going to top it up to the 23 litre mark with cold water. Awesome. Right, there you go. There we go, 23 litres. And a bit of malt extract. So I'm just going to take my spoon and give it a little stir quickly. One, this just gets a bit of oxygen, extra oxygen in there, and two, it just levels out all the lovely malt. So hopefully this will be looking good. So there we are. I mean, that was relatively quick. I mean, that in time, not including the time it took to heat the malt, spent 10 minutes doing it. And sterilizing, so 20 minutes. But there we go. So now I've got my lovely clean hydrometer. Just make sure that side's done. Let's pop it in and let's see what it says. Got some foam in the way. That's rather amusing. According to this hydrometer, it is 6%. Just saying, that's what it says. It says it's 6%. Even though it said when you add a kilo, ooh, that's tasty, it would make 4%. So it's probably not going to go all the way to dry. Read the instructions and let's find out. Remains below 108. So yeah, it is, funny enough, it will be 4% according to these instructions. So we're going to have to check it. So since this has had hot water in it and then topped up with cold, it is pretty much pitching temperature. Looking good. So this doesn't say what yeast it is, but it's obviously a beer yeast of some description. Yeah, there's no open bit. I'm going to have to cut it with scissors. Otherwise I'm going to fling it everywhere. Take some lovely scissors. Give it right across the top. So, this doesn't say what yeast it is. It just says that it is being packaged in a protector's atmosphere. Whatever that. Just throw it all in. And if you're feeling really fancy, you can give it a little stir. I'm feeling why not. It's got a little bit of froth on the top, so there we go. But you don't even have to do that. Now I'm just going to put the lid on. Lovely clean and sterilized. Seal it pretty much all the way around. Obviously leave a little bit open so the gas can escape and the lid doesn't pop off. So now we're just going to pop this out the way for 21 days. Fantastic. That was the easiest brew that we've done. Fine kit. So we get to see how this is. And get some beer. Awesome. Well, I'm just going to move this out of the way. Dun, dun, dun. Lovely. So that worked out pretty well. Put you there. I've got a little bit of malt extract to play with. I do love malt extract. It tastes so good. Vegetable honey. Yum. I'm going to drink some wine. Fantastic. And put bleach down myself. Fortunately, I'm wearing an old t-shirt. So, it just goes to show that I do use kits occasionally, especially when they're beer kits. So, I hope you found this a little bit of fun. It was something I was doing, so I thought I'd show you what I'm up to. So, I'll catch you later, guys. Take care.